Greetings, and good afternoon, Juneteenth family. Welcome to another weekly edition of our Lunch and Learn.
E is exhaling, having an opportunity to breathe, to rest, to refill yourself and rejuvenate yourself, because no one can pour from an empty cup.
As you evolve and become more of yourself, you begin to attract the people that are there for you.
Amen.
So everything you need is in this space.
You have to learn from your mistakes. Once you make a mistake, oops, sit down, recoup, and then start over. And once you do that, you say, I got that.
See, Juneteenth means to me, I would definitely say empowerment and education.
When I experience it, it's like just coming together and, being a part of something bigger than myself, And
A new start, starting a new chapter, opportunity, new beginnings, all of that good stuff.
Greetings, and good afternoon, Juneteenth family. Welcome to another weekly edition of our Lunch and Learn. This week, we are joined by an amazing duo, a mom and daughter duo. And I want to say it's hysterical because it's like the daughter is who is here to be presented today, and mom is her mini-me, if we could reverse that. Because when I look at them on the screen, it's like looking at the same person. They said good morning at the same time, hello and thank you at the same time, and all these amazing, just love. I saw love between these two women. And who they are is daughter Jaida Germain and momager Ebony Henriquez. They are an amazing team, and I'm not going to talk too much about who, their what, and their why. I'm going to bring them to the stage because they'll be presenting Jaida's book. Let's say book number 2. I can't wait for you guys to meet this young lady. Her first book was written at 3 years old. Let's bring Jaida up to the stage with her mom, Ebony. Hey, ladies, how you doing?
Hi, Jamie. Good afternoon.
Hello. Thank you guys for having me today.
Welcome. Ebony, you mentioned that Jaida is getting comfortable. I just saw the complete transformation from the Jaida that was behind the stage to the Jaida that's on stage. So I'll say this much, Jaida, just keep on doing what you're doing. Keep up the great works. With that being said, I'm going to pass the stage to you ladies so that you can share with the Juneteenth community why you're here and what you're up to.
Thank you. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having Jaida and I. I would like to thank the administrative staff for the Juneteenth New York event. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you to everyone that has helped with, giving us this platform to be able to present. So just want to make a few corrections. Jaida, this is her first book, but I do receive prophecies and speak into existence that she will have volume 2 coming following this book. She's been doing marvelous things with it. And at this time, we would now like to present. So our presentation is basically on youth entrepreneurship and parental support. And today we're going to focus on how parents can support their child entrepreneur. So my name is Ebony Henriquez. I'm the proud mother of Jaida Germain and her brother Jaden. I am also an educator by day, a student by night, and Jaida's momager, although she thinks that I'm her momager 24/7.
Hello, I'm Jaida Germain. I am 12 years old, entrepreneur, creator, and founder of Jeweled by Jaida, my personal bracelet business. I am also the author of the book Hair to Stay, Jaida's Hair Salon Volume 1.
Today's agenda is going to have us speaking about the following things. So first, we're going to have Jaida present on who she is. She's also going to talk about her bracelet business, Jeweled by Jaida. Next, she'll talk about her book. At the conclusion of that presentation, I will then speak about 8 tips that parents can use to support their child entrepreneur. and then we will conclude our presentation.
So, my name is Jaida Germain. As you guys know, I am 12 years old and I am author of the book Here to Stay. And I wrote this book because of my love and passion for hair and social justice. So, that really inspired me to write the book. And I really wanted to show how I can, inspire other young Black boys and girls like me. So, when author Hendrik McBride, who was actually my fifth grade teacher, who previously was an author, he offered to write a book with me. So I was very hands on with it because that would be a way to express how I felt about hair and social justice and also inspire young Black authors and young Black boys and girls like me. So it says Jaida Germain had difficulty speaking and experienced academic delays. So I'm going to speak about how I had some challenges due to that. So it says, before age 3, I had surgery on both of my ears because they retained fluid. As a result, I had difficulty hearing. This also caused me to speak muffled and have challenges learning. However, test results twice proved that I was intelligible for early intervention services. As previously stated, I experienced academic challenges all throughout my earlier years of school. With hard work, determination, and support from my family, teachers, and tutor, I was able to make an turnaround. My efforts led to me become the valedictorian of the class of 2021 of Cultural Arts Academy Charter School.
Jaida will now talk about her bracelet business, Jewel by Jaida. You could go to the next slide.
Jewel by Jaida is my business that I started before my book publication. My idea to turn Jewel by Jaida into a business stemmed from an entrepreneurship program in my middle school that was started by Dr. Jamila T. Davis. With the tools that I've learned from this program, and after making money at my school's pop-up shop, I decided to turn Jewel by Jaida into a limited liability corporation, or LLC, with the help of my parents. I also sell handcrafted and personally designed bracelets at my book events and via my jewelry page, Instagram page, which can be found on my website.
Jaida will now talk about her book, Here to Stay.
My passion for hair and social justice are the two things that inspired me to write this book. I started doing hair when I was 3 years old. I started practicing on dolls and eventually my family and friends. My grandfather would also take me to social justice rallies, so I became very vocal about community injustices and unfairnesses. During the pandemic, my fifth grade teacher, Mr. Hendrik McBride, realized this passion and proposed that I combine these two topics and write a book. I was moved by this opportunity because I thought it would be a great way of influencing other young Black boys and girls, as well as other people of color, that they can, as well as other Black people of color, they can embrace their natural hair and don't have to change it into conform to society's perception of them and its definition of beauty. Here are some of the other topics that I talk about in my book, such as natural hair, the Crown Act, self-identity, hair discrimination, advocacy, and self-esteem. So here's my book, Hair to Stay timeline. In October, Hair to Stay, Jada's Hair Salon Volume 1, I was released on Amazon on October 19th, 2022. That same weekend, over 400 copies were sold, and I was ranked number 2 on Amazon's new release book list. In November, my first book event was at my elementary school, Cultural Arts Academy Charter School. I also had my major first event, which was WBLS Circle of Sisters. In December, my first official book release party was at Vibes Restaurant. For the first time, I also participated at a career day event for Flushing, YBC, and a holiday mixer for the Black Law Students Association at CUNY Law. In January, my website was launched. I expanded my business by participating in my first birthday party event. And February through April, I have traveled to places like New Jersey and the DMV area for book events. My book continues to sell in the school system and other communities organizations. I have also formed connections with sororities, politicians, and other child entrepreneurs. Here is my website if you want to look at other events, other upcoming events or past events. It is collectionsbyjada.com.
Thank you, Jaida.
Thank you guys for having me.
So now I will be presenting 8 tips for supporting child entrepreneurs. So number 1, encourage. Children are like seeds. They need to be planted in good ground that is conducive to their growth, watered with wisdom and life's lessons, showered with love, and given space to grow. So these are ways that you can encourage your child. First, you want to acknowledge their interests, gifts, and talents. As Jaida stated, she was 3 years old when she developed a passion to do hair. And I cultivated that gift, her father and I and our other family members, by doing things like buying dolls, letting her play with our hair, do different hairstyles, especially during COVID, the time when everybody was locked in and hair salons were closed. That was a perfect time for us to let Jaida, experiment braids and faux locks and different styles that she wanted to try. Also meet them where they are by supporting their interests, gifts, and talents. So as I said before, just getting her that doll, those head dolls, that helped. Jaida likes to cook as well. So just letting her get in the kitchen, letting her practice, even if it's something small, like putting water in a measuring cup, just to make sure that you're giving them a platform to experiment and explore their gifts. You can also create safe spaces for them to explore these gifts, interests, and talents. Make tangible goals. We also like to create vision boards. I believe in writing the vision and making it plain so that you can see where you would like to be. Also, give your child verbal praise and positive reinforcement. Encourage them to look at others that are successful in their area of interest. Teach them that failure is a part of success and celebrate every victory, regardless of whether it's small or big. Number 2, lead by example. Children are like sponges. They absorb everything. So ways that you can lead by example. Besides modeling positive behavior, you always would like to maintain professionalism. Show them exactly how their business should look and what it should look like. Provide non-examples and examples of what it should look like and examples of non-examples of what it should not look like or what they should not do. Encourage them to look to others that are successful in their area of interest and learn from mistakes. Number 3, learn. I never lose. I either win or I learn. Nelson Mandela. Ways that you can learn. Be authentic and receptive. Never pretend to know everything that's going on in the business. As I stated before, I'm an educator, and business administration is not something that I went to school for. However, because I am passionate about cultivating my children's gifts, this is something that my creativity, my ideas, coupled with Jaida's ideas and creativity, input that we receive from other family members, we take that information, we research, we do things that we need to do to just basically be aware of how we can learn the business. So you want to do also attend workshops, attend events, create a safe space for your child to make mistakes and learn from them. Use the internet and social media as a resource. Network with other entrepreneurs, both children and adults, and ask questions. Seek mentorship or coaching. Seek professional advice from an expert or individual who specializes in the field or area of interest. And also reflection. You want to reflect on different events, different workshops, different ideas, things that people are saying. You just want to take the time to reflect on what it is that you're learning and process what you're learning. Sometimes we have information that's thrown at us as we conduct our day, but the idea is to take time to basically take in what was said to you and process what was being conveyed. Reflect. There's a blessing in every lesson. So you want to make mental notes to help with your reflection process. Either do that or take physical notes if possible whenever you attend events or if you go to or you have experiences that are associated with your child's business. Also, make time to debrief immediately following the event or experience. I know sometimes that time can be an issue, but try to take that time following the event so that you can recall things while they're still fresh. Discuss glows and grows, basically what went well and what did not go well or what can be improved. Be open to constructive feedback, even if it is from your child. Teach your child how to be open and receptive as well. And ask your clients for feedback. So when you have events or if you're doing something, a pop-up shop, Jaida and I do a lot of pop-up shops. One of the things that we would like to start doing is creating like a suggestion box or accessing, letting our clients access surveys or polls via our social media or website so that they have an opportunity to provide feedback. Number 5, enhance. Enhancement leads to expansion. So ways that you can enhance yourself, again, reflection. Reflection always gives you room to grow and to make self-improvement. Also, you can enroll in classes, attend workshops or trainings. So public speaking, being that Jaida is in these platforms where she's doing presentations, where she's speaking with people, she's going to be enrolling in public speaking courses, business courses, financial literacy. Those are also things that are beneficial. Getting a coach or mentor, helping your child strengthen their strengths and develop their weaknesses. So that is very important because you want to acknowledge what they can do well and continue to pour into them and edify them so that they can continue to strive in those areas. The things that they're weak at, we don't like to say we can't do it. We're going to try to do it and we're eventually going to do it. And we like to have that attitude, that growth mindset, because the weaknesses that we have is just at the moment you may not be able to do something the way someone else that may be stronger can, but it doesn't mean that you'll never be able to do it. A delay is not a denial. So we try to pour into our children that even in your weakness, you still have strength. And we also would like to use what you have. What you have is already in you. So if you use what you have by honing in on those talents and skills, that also helps to develop the child. Number 6, network. When one door opens, another door opens. So my children tend to laugh at me when I say that because the quote is really when one door closes, another door opens. But at every event that Jaida and I and her father and other family members have attended, we have literally met one other person or several people that have connected us to other people that have brought us to a future event. And that's all because of our ability to network. And it doesn't matter if you're an introvert or an extrovert, just having a simple conversation. You could start by saying, Jaida wrote a book on hair. So maybe you'll see someone and you'll say, I like your hair. Or, this bracelet will look really nice on your daughter. Your daughter may be with the person at the time. So just find conversation starters that you can use to introduce, to converse with people. If you're an extrovert, even better. But these are ways that you also can network. Attend events such as the pop-up shops, community events, workshops, etc., particularly ones that relate to your child's area of interest. Connect with others, especially people who can offer support in a specific area. Exchange contact information if that's something you're comfortable with. Because we live in a new era where everything is digital, you can create business cards. Physical cards tend to be a little bit outdated, but there are digital cards, and there are people that still have actual physical cards that they distribute at events. Also, you can create a following by having a website, as Jaida had previously mentioned. social media pages, and other platforms. You can also explore social media by using hashtags and by viewing your child's business followers. So I like to, when I get a new follower, go on, inspect the page, make sure that everything is good, and I'll look at followers that they have that also may be connected to the area that Jaida is currently pursuing. So that's another strategy. And you also want to always be supportive of other entrepreneurs, especially when you're doing these pop-up events. One thing that I like to tell Jaida to do after she sets up her table, I tell her to go around, introduce herself, ask people, what they're offering, what products they may have that they're selling. She does the same. And that's also a way that you're exposing her to be able to go out and network. Number 7, build. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So ways to build. So I would strongly suggest that if you have children, either if they're younger or older siblings, that you find ways to hire them as an employee. I am not a financial advisor. However, these are things that I have also been doing my own research on and consulting people in that area. And one of the things that I would start suggesting parents do that have businesses with their children, identify each sibling's area of strength as it connects to the business and delegate roles and tasks. According to the IRS, a child who has only earned income must file a return only if the total is more than the standard deduction for the year. So for fiscal year 2022, the standard deduction for a dependent child is $12,950. Therefore, a child can earn up to $12,950 without paying income tax. So parents, if you have children, you have a business, hire your children as an employee. Also speak to an accountant or some type of tax consultant, but they can earn up to $12,950 of earned income if that's all that they have, and they do not have to pay income tax on it. Okay, so that is a great way to hire your child, have them work under the business, and they get compensation for it. Also, I would strongly encourage parents to establish partnerships with others. And my final tip for helping parents support their child entrepreneur is to invest. Investing puts money to work. The only reason to save money is to invest it. So there are 2 ways that I would recommend to invest. I am not a financial consultant. However, this is advice that has been given to me by financial advisors, and also in doing my research. One of the things that I found to be very helpful is to open a savings account. I don't encourage savings accounts because you don't earn much interest on savings accounts. However, it's a good place to store money that you're later going to put into an investment. So, for example, one of the things that I'm big on is purchasing whole life insurance policies. That is a way that you can invest your child's business earnings and put into the whole life policy so that the money can grow, accrue interest, and they can later use it in the future for things like their college tuition or their business. They want to open up other businesses. Real estate purchases as well are different ways that you can invest your money. So that concludes my portion of the presentation and our presentation. I would like to thank everyone for joining us today and for having us as well. And if you have any questions, please feel free to email them to heretostaybook@gmail.com. Please also feel free to join us on Jaida's website. You can peruse it for information about her book, her bio, her bracelets, and any inquiries. Her website is www.collectionsbyjaida.com. Thank you.
Thank you.
Such a full, dynamic presentation. I got so much information. I'm like, wait a minute, so this kid's gonna be 23 now, but all this time I could have been paying him and we could have been recouping money back into the household and just keeping it under that mark. So that was like amazing information to have. I do have some question for you ladies. As far as the journey has gone, I would love to talk about the journey and what it's like to work with your mom, Jaida, and for you, Jaida, what is it like to work with your children? Because you mentioned that you're also a teacher, so that means that you're with other people's children a lot. But what is it like to actually work with your own?
Well, okay, I'm gonna have Jaida start first.
Well, I think it's nice that I have someone to work with my mom because it's like, if I hire somebody, it's like I can't rely on them as much as I do with my mom because, she's my mother. So I think she would put in way more work than someone who I hired would. But, although we do have some ups and downs, she always tells me, you better be grateful that you have a momager because if you hire somebody, they're not going to do it as good as much as I would. So I do appreciate her investing a lot of time in my work. And I hope I show that to her as well because she does invest a lot of time helping me with my book, you know, putting out money of her own. And I told her to take some. She does not want to take any money. Like I tell her, you could take some money out because, she does put a lot of hard work into my work and what she does for my business. So I tell her, sometimes you could do that and she doesn't want to. So I know that she truly does care for my business and she really wants to help invest in my business to help it grow. So I do appreciate my mom for that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, I love that.
Thank you. So for me, with working with children, I've been in the Department of Education for 17 years, and it is a blessing working with children. It requires a lot of patience, but one thing that I can say that I did learn in my journey is you want to always treat people's children the way you want somebody to treat your children. So I try my best to make sure that I put my best foot forward. I can't say every day is perfect, but genuinely, my children know that I care about them. And when I'm saying my children, I'm referring to my students, but I call them my children because they know that when I'm at work, I'm mom at work and I protect my children. I advocate for them, and I do my best to get them what it is that they need and meet their needs because I do serve special education population.
Shay. Ooh, so in other words, you're bringing those same 8 things that you bring as a mom to an entrepreneur to your teacherhood is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
I love that. I'll definitely share that. I always tell people that teachers and firefighters are my heroes because those are
Thank
two
you.
things out of all of the. Oh, and then anything that involves heights, like working on construction and building and things like that. But that's a whole different ball game. But if I, out of choice to teach people's children, it takes a hero for that, and I don't think that society recognizes that enough. And what also came up for me is I wonder if that contributes to any of the balance that you have as. So first of all, when we hear the term, and I love that we get a chance to dispel because I'm all about releasing stories and unattaching these assumptions and ideas that come with something. So a lot of times when you hear momager, we think of some of the ones that we do know of that have been sort of like helicopter, hover, don't necessarily allow for the growth and kind of like become the star themselves sometimes. And I don't see that. So I'm wondering if even that 17 years of giving and pouring into other people's children contributes to the balance that you have in showing up as this momager with such a deep rooted intention. Like I can see the intention that you're pouring into children, not even just into your child right there, but into children as a whole.
Well, thank you, Jamie. Yes. So being an educator, it comes with wearing multiple hats, right? So you definitely have to have your classroom management. You have to have your ability to multitask. Sometimes you're in a classroom and, because I teach special education, I may have 12 students, but sometimes people underestimate that number. Having 12 students could be like having 24 students or 30 students. You have different students with different needs, different disabilities. They may require differentiated instruction. So the ability to juggle multiple things and manage time, which is something that I'm still working on with my time management. But being an educator has definitely allowed me the opportunity to experience, how to run a business. So even without having the business administration degree, there's still certain things that are relevant to what I'm doing now because of my experience in the classroom and working with students and being on different committees and having different responsibilities and having deadlines and different tasks that need to be done, sometimes all at once. So yes, it has been an experience and it has been something that has been valuable in this journey as Jada's momager.
I love it. I love it. Would you share some of the as a momager, what you gave a wealthy, healthy list of tools? What are some of the challenges that you've encountered on this journey? And also, I would ask you to share any challenges outside of just the position of maybe securing, thinking about as a momager, maybe securing the events, like looking for where to placement. You mentioned managing social media, like I know that we live in this world where people will troll anybody of any age. It doesn't matter. Like, what does that all look like? What has been some of the challenges that you've faced?
So some of the challenges, there have been challenges. First, like you said, just managing, right? Time management, because literally, what we don't realize in our journey that we need to take time for ourselves. And the self-care is very important because without that, you wouldn't be able to do what you do, right? So sometimes I even have to come back and say, okay, you need a moment, to take some time to just debrief and breathe and, stop everything. So just that time management can be challenging. Replying to emails. Sometimes, it looks unprofessional when you're not responsive, but there are people that give you grace and they understand that, you have a lot going on. And a lot going on doesn't mean that something is wrong with you. It's just that you're juggling multiple hats all at once. And sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming. Um, the events, sometimes getting to these events is not the issue, but making sure that you have your inventory for the events in time. So ordering your books, making sure that you expect the arrival on time. There's times when, for example, during the holiday season, getting the books what would normally take 10 business days, actually 10 calendar days, took almost 3 to 4 weeks for books to come. So any events that we planned for January, we had to make sure that we ordered well in advance, or we just had to either postpone events or, work out some type of arrangement where we can still sell her bracelets at the events and whatever was in our inventory, but maybe like do book orders or, direct them to the Amazon link. So we always have like a backup plan for these things. We even mail books out. But we always try our best to be prepared and just learning, as I stated before in the slides, just learning from your experiences. I never did pop-up events before. I never had to do this, but just seeing how, things like running a classroom or doing a bulletin board, decorating your interior classroom. Those are things that all contribute to like how you present yourself, how you're presenting, your table at these events. Even certain things like career day. I was on the career day committee for several years as an educator. And even though my daughter's 12, I always tell her, dress professional. You want to dress for the occasion. I do want her to be a child and balance, being a child entrepreneur. But I also want her to still have, dignity and decorum and maintain a level of professionalism when she attends events. So those are things that, I have learned, but also things that I have challenged. Also finances. As Jada stated, there are times that starting up a business requires you to come out of pocket. Um, so there have been times where, personal finances have been used, and just learning like how to obtain business credit, making sure your personal credit is maintained so that you can acquire business credit, starting an LLC, there's things that I don't fully know, but I'm learning along the way. So these are all, some of the challenges that have come with being Jada's momager.
I love that. And question for Jada, is it difficult being a young entrepreneur and a student at once?
It can get very difficult because, sometimes some events that I might have during the school week can conflict with the time I'm in school. Also, some things, some priorities I would have to do to get ready for an upcoming event. Like I have a bracelet business, so I would have to make like a lot of bracelets for this week. I actually have a upcoming event that I'll be attending, and the bracelets like just came yesterday, so I have to hurry up and make it. And I know spring break just started, but a few days ago when I had school, it was kind of hard because when I get back from school, I also have other things I'm in like dance and stuff like that, so it kind of conflicted with the things I have to do with my business. So that I will say can be challenging sometimes, but I do get through it, and eventually I have it for my business. So yeah, but it can get very overwhelming.
Got that. So what I'm hearing from both of you ladies is time is that major factor. Like everything else is flowing and you're learning. The lessons are just falling in place divinely. All the time is flowing. Just looking at the timeline of Jada's business, everything is like flowing so smoothly and well. It's just that time that I often say, if we could only just get a couple more hours, couple more days, couple more minutes in these months and days that we have. So it's that's so dope and so amazing.
Thank
So
you.
I know, hold on, I want to go back up here. I saw a comment. I did want to just go back to Jada's share about having her mom just kind of support her. I love your wisdom, Jada. You are such a wise young lady. I don't know what your mom and dad have done over there, or if it's just part of their just divine blessings, but you are an amazing child, and I'm so glad that you had the tenacity to push through your challenges and to work through them, and to see like you're such a at a young age getting to learn what the hard work looks like and how it shows up and how it can reward you. And I look forward to more. I look forward to volume 2. Thank you so much at the top, Ebony.
Thank
I
you.
was saying thank you for correcting me. I don't know where I picked up on. I just had it that, I don't know. And I was so right in my mind, like, what? This is book number 2 coming out. And I have it that there's going to be many more volumes than volume 2.
Yes.
Thank you.
Just
Thank you.
based You're so welcome. Just based upon your journey and what you're learning along the way, I know that you're going to want to share with the world and continue to show up the way you showed up here today. Let's see, are there any other things I missed in the chat? Just want to go through. So Athenia was speaking about liking that the vision board idea. And I thank you for that as well. So then we do have another question. So what skills should aspiring young entrepreneurs master before starting their own business? And I would like both of you ladies to answer this question.
Okay, you wanna go first?
No.
All right. So thank you for that question, Alyssa. So some of the skills I would definitely say you want to work on and start teaching your child early about financial literacy. Just that, aspect of savings, because there are times that your children, they're excited, they're making money, but if they don't know what to do with that money, and if you don't know what to do with that money and you're not guiding them properly, the money will get blown on things that are not important. And also, you have to remember that it needs to be reinvested back into the business, to buy books, to buy the supplies for bracelets, simple things like bags, or making flyers, or having these subscriptions for websites. Those are things that are costs that definitely need to be factored in. So financial literacy, public speaking is something that we're going to be working on. Time management, just how to manage time, as Jada said, being a student and balance that, because she is a business person, but she also is a child. And, I would like for her to be able to still enjoy her childhood and participate in things that she is also interested in. So those are things, communication skills, just how to talk to people and how to present yourself to people as well. Also, I'm gonna let my daughter speak, but um, I always try to pour into my daughter to just debunk that whole idea of fear. Fear will cripple you and it will prevent you from fulfilling opportunities that are destined for you. So there was a recent event where she was afraid to speak to somebody and tell them about her book. And I told her, I said, I don't know what you're scared of. And there's that song, scared money don't make no money. I tell her, if you're scared, you're not going to make money in this business. You have to know how to talk to people. So go up to people, speak to them, speak loud and speak clear. Yes, you're a child, but you present yourself with such wisdom. So just always encouraging and just pouring back into your child also is something that you can do as a parent, but also to show them the things that they need to do and maintain as children.
I would like to feed off what my mom said. So, well, some of the skills that I have learned and are, keep taking on is like representation, time management, fairness, and other things like that. So, I would say like one thing I do want to start doing with my mom is, although she's like my mom is, so she does like she sets up these meetings and things like that, and pop-up shops. So I would say that, you know, when I get older, I would like to know from now that, to learn how to do the business instead of like my mom doing everything. I would want to do some stuff too, so then when I get older, I would know how to do it and I wouldn't have to learn from there. So I can like, be a pro at doing these things, so I wouldn't have to learn from when I'm an adult. I will say time management as well. I know I'm a student, but I also, when I'm an adult, still would have to work a job. So I would say that we need to work on time management as well, with school and with her as work, and when I get into work as well. So I want to start being better at time management from now. So when I get older, like I said before, I don't have to have any challenges with that. Fairness, I do have a lot of fairness, and I need to stop because those are one of the things that I talk about in my book, and it's like, why am I talking about that in my book? And I got fairness myself. So I do want to stop with having fairness. I um also need to work with my public speaking, and some of the things I say, I need to learn how to pronounce certain words right and everything like that. So those are some of the skills that I would want to learn from before starting a business, and I would prefer for other students and young entrepreneurs as well to learn before they're starting their journey on their business. So that's what I would have to say.
And I just want to acknowledge Jada because, as she stated in her presentation, Jada started off with having challenges as a child because she was hearing as if she had water. She did have retention of fluids in her ears. And the doctors basically described that as her hearing as if somebody was speaking to her while she was submerged in a pool. So that was why she had issues hearing, and that also is the reason why she had issues speaking. So she overcame a lot of challenges, and even sometimes like her confidence, was a little bit shaky. But over time, she has started to develop her confidence. So I would like to acknowledge her for that. At 12 years old, Jada's doing things that I wasn't even doing as an adult. Up until recently when she started with her book. So having her book has also inspired me to make some life changes and also, exploring things that I have never done, like doing presentations. So outside of work, I would say. So thank you, Jada.
Thank you.
I love that. I love that. And thank you so much for starting where I was about to go with what I wanted to share about Jada. I too want to acknowledge you, Jada, and one for again pushing through those challenges. And I wanted to offer you a jewel because you both have given so many jewels here today. I have one for you. When I first started doing these lunch and learns, was still in a space of fear. Up until maybe about 3 or 4 months ago, the fear started to shift. And that was after over a year of showing up every Thursday doing these these speaking, being in front of, I don't know how many people will watch this replay, how many people are actually out there because of the different places that it streams, how many people are actually watching it in the moment. In the beginning, I used to care, but over time, as you find your own comfort, your own groove, you get comfortable with yourself. And I would say the key thing is giving yourself grace. Giving yourself grace when you are fearful, and also recognizing that every person that writes about something or speaks about something is not fully 100% an expert in that. It's just something that they can speak about, because what you do know about is, you know what fear feels like. You know something about fear. You know how to push through it. You know how to push through fear. So you have every right to talk about fear in your book while you're still mastering, pushing through fear.
Thank you.
All right. So always give yourself grace and be kind to yourself in any of those moments, and keep listening to your mom, because she's a very smart lady. She's got this.
Thank you.
So I do have one final question for you ladies. Well, before the final question, I'd like that if you have any last words that you'd like to share with the community on this day while you're here with us, to please share that. And then I would love for you both to share what exactly Juneteenth means to you.
All right. So I would like to thank everybody again for joining us. Thank you, Juneteenth, the Juneteenth New York organization, for giving us this platform to speak. This has been very moving because, as I said before, this is my first time presenting in this type of platform. This is also Jada's first time. And we have been able to bounce off of each other because of spaces like this that allow us the opportunity to come on and share what we're doing, and hopefully inspire other children, other adults, other women, that may have fear or that may have an idea that they would like to do, but they have been told no, or they have been discouraged. And as I said before, a delay is not a denial. So just because something didn't happen yet doesn't mean it will never happen. So I would encourage everyone that's listening, and those of you that will listen later, to just stay encouraged. And whatever it is that you desire, that you have in your heart to do, go after it, and don't let anything stop you. And I'm just going to close with this. For years, I wanted to go to law school, and I was always afraid I wasn't going to pass the LSAT. I can't study for it. It's too hard. I had my children, and I kept saying, I'm not going. I'm never going to go. And during that pandemic, when I started seeing everybody around me passing away and all the stuff that was going on, and then when my daughter started writing and working on her book, those things inspired me to do something that I always wanted to do and that I just didn't have the courage to do. So don't think that because you didn't do it yet, or you didn't see it happen for you, or you just feel discouraged, that is not going to happen. Once you have that passion in you to do it, go after it, jump over every hurdle that comes in your way, and get to the finish line. Thank you again for joining us.
Some of the things I would like to say is, feeding off my book, I would say to have confidence in yourself. And as I'm fighting the barriers of fairness, I would like to say, don't feed off about what other people tell you, because I feel like that's one of the reasons why I have fairness, because the peers that I'm around today, it's like they're not the best to be around. Like, they would let you down, and they will make you go on that level to think, writing this is like, it's childish and things like that. But what's childish is saying that. So I would say to not have fearfulness. And that's one thing I would like to say to the community. And what Juneteenth means to me, it's a day that we, as people of color, to all get together and have confidence, just have a good day with each other, because a lot of times we can't express how we feel because of the society that we live in today. So I think Juneteenth was a day that, talked about us and, freedom. So I would say that's what Juneteenth means to me, and that's what I would like to say to the community.
Sorry, I forgot to mention my part about Juneteenth, but just piggybacking off Jada, this is an opportunity that we're going to come together as a community, celebrate each other, uplift each other. Thinking about our ancestors, there was a time where They couldn't do this. So let's do it for them, and let's do it for the future generations.
Ashe, I love that. And will you ladies be with us for Juneteenth coming up?
Yes, of course, we will
And
be.
which days will you be? Let the folks know where they can find you. Oh, and also, Jaida, you mentioned that you have an event coming up. If it's an open event, share with the community. And also your contact info has been fully dropped in there.
Okay, thank you. So the upcoming event is this weekend. Actually, it's in Atlantic City. It's a Lele event, and I would be selling my book there because it's a vendors thing as well. So if you guys want to come out to support, you guys can, and I would appreciate it if you guys did as well.
Beautiful. Thank you. So for those of you who are first of all, before I go there, thank you, ladies. Thank you for being here with us. I will see you back behind the scenes.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
All right, community. So those of you who reside in the Atlantic City area, you heard that. Ebony and Jaida will be out there selling hair to stay. All right. That was such a beautiful session. My heart is so warm. Next week, we will be joined by Tanette Pippi-Spann, and she'll be talking about how small businesses that are struggling to stay open should consider closing for the health and future of their business. I can't wait to have that conversation. She is a fellow Juneteenth board member and someone I consider to be a friend. And I hope that you all had an amazing time here today. Look forward to seeing you next week. And next time, don't forget to like and subscribe. Greetings, and good afternoon, Juneteenth family. Welcome to another weekly edition of our Lunch and Learn.
E is exhaling, having an opportunity to breathe, to rest, to refill yourself and rejuvenate yourself, because no one can pour from an empty cup.
As you evolve and become more of yourself, you begin to attract the people that are there for you.
Amen.
So everything you need is in this space.
You have to learn from your mistakes. Once you make a mistake, oops, sit down, recoup, and then start over. And once you do that, you say, I got that.
See, Juneteenth means to me, I would definitely say empowerment and education.
When I experience it, it's like just coming together and, being a part of something bigger than myself, And
A new start, starting a new chapter, opportunity, new beginnings, all of that good stuff.